What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with Money Vesting, and Tesla is going to be reporting their delivery numbers, both production and delivery numbers, in the first quarter 2023 on Sunday, which is going to be April 2nd. So in this video, I'm going to break down what the expectations are, and then of course go over the cost basis breakdown for average investors all over the world for Tesla, and then also break down the technical analysis on the company. On the day, it was up a little bit over 6%. Now starting to compete with Nvidia in terms of market cap, back over $656 billion, and also the price is back over $207 per share. So lots of momentum and lots of liquidity driving the stock price higher. The volume was also at a whopping 170 million shares traded on the day. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're just joining us for the first time, and the link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. We've got a little over an hour left if you want to join and get access to that 16% annual discount. And after tonight, that coupon code will expire. So link's going to be down below. So first things first, let's just talk a little bit about the volume and the technicals itself. Tesla, of course, has been selling off quite a bit from highs of $418 per share. At one point, we dropped down to low 100s. There was 75% sell-off. And right now, from all-time highs, it is still down about 50%. So we're still more than cut in half from those highs for Tesla. But of course, from its lows of back in January, it has rallied a little bit over 105%. So it's more than doubled from those prices. And year-to-date, Tesla is still up 75%. So we're going to circle back to the technicals here in just a minute, but let's just talk about the actual cost basis breakdown. And right now, you'll notice that over 95% of shares are profitable, meaning that 95% of investors in Tesla are profitable at the moment. That is very, very good to see. And $186 is the average cost basis. That simply represents that as Tesla was coming down, as Tesla was selling off, more and more people were actually buying a Tesla. They were dollar cost averaging, and they were buying the stock in order to lower their cost basis. And as the stock price has rallied over 105%, it has put back 95%. It's a pretty substantial population back in the green for Tesla. You can see all these green averages over here. So closing price $207, and the average cost is $186, with 90% of the cost range between $135 to $209 per share for Tesla. Now, in terms of expectations, these are some of the estimates from analysts. So total deliveries expected at 421,164, Model S and X 16,700, and Model 3 and Y 408,000, semi-truck 60 deliveries, and total production pegged at 432,000 vehicles. This was from Roland Percher. In Norway, Tesla reached 44% of last year's delivery within the first quarter, and March alone contributed 37%. So this is Tesla deliveries in Norway by month and year. And what you'll notice is that we are already in 2023, 44% of our way to 2022 deliveries. So we're very much on track to exceeding that number in 2023 for Tesla Norway. And of course, Shanghai and Fremont and Giga Texas, all these are up and swing in full production and deliveries as well. And these are some of the expectations for deliveries. So Gordon Johnson, we know, who is a long-term bear for Tesla, he is modeling about 425,000 deliveries, and his shares are rated sell with a price target of $24.33. And Deutsche Bank analyst Emmanuel Rossner, Tesla bull, rating shares buy. His price target is $250, and he expects Tesla to deliver 416,000 units, reflecting still the uncertain macro environment after the price cuts, as well as the competitive pricing responses in China. So I personally do believe that, it's a little bit of a difficult report to comprehend, because on one hand, you've got interest rates that have gone up so much. The cost of borrowing is really, really high, right? Auto loans, cost of borrowing in general, interest rates on borrowing has gone up 5, 6, 7% in the last few years. In the last few months, I should say, not really few years, but the Federal Reserve started raising rates back in March of last year. So in that last 1 year, they have raised rates quite substantially. And as a result, as rates go up, demand starts to come down because cost of borrowing is higher. Now, at the same time, Tesla's tried to offset that by lowering prices. So as a result, price come down, demand starts to push back higher. So in my opinion, I personally do believe that Tesla has the potential to beat the actual delivery estimates of 421,000. I would not be surprised if they come in a little bit higher than what the expectations are. And of course, if this rally continues over going into next week, spills over next week, and we see some more momentum for Tesla in the tune of 215, 220 to as much as $225. That is going to be that next resistance level to watch for Tesla. So that is the next target that we have on the company. We're still very much in the context of a wider downtrending wedge, meaning that we're still making lower highs and lower lows. So Tesla is still getting rejected here at this lower highs, and we're also getting rejected over here at these lower lows. So we're still very much in that downtrend, but we've got a very strong resistance, like I said, roughly sitting around 215 to as much as $220 per share, because we have validated that support in the past, and that in turn became a resistance for Tesla. If I draw out the price by volume chart, so this right here is going to be another really interesting metric for us to look at. You'll notice that right now, the price where most shares are traded in terms of the highest volume at what certain price, that is sitting at $200 per share, similar to what we already talked about in our previous videos, where there was something about that $200 price for Tesla, right? It was just not able to break out of that, and we were getting struggle, or we were pretty much struggling at that price for quite some time. We are identical, right? What I mean by that is if I remove this, that is exactly where this price by volume chart ends up, right? So if I bring that back on, and if I remove this chart, you'll notice that that's exactly where the resistance is. And what happened today? Very strong breakout on heavy volume, 170 million shares traded, and we saw a pretty nice breakout past $200 per share. So the next big battleground for Tesla, 220 to as much as 225. So inside this red rectangle, this is going to be the big level, and I'm most confident that next week we're going to probably test those levels for Tesla. And if we actually do get a breakout past $228, then the next resistance is going to be all the way up to 260s, 264, 265, in and around these levels for Tesla moving forward. So that is going to be that price point next, if they can get a breakout past $228. So that's going to be the entire update. I will update everybody on Sunday when the numbers are released. We'll do another analysis, and we'll try to anticipate what the Tesla stock is going to do going into next week, because we also do have the unemployment numbers coming out on Friday, and a new month is getting started, new quarter is starting. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the markets perform after a very, very strong Q1 of 2023. Now, there's also some expectations that Tesla is actually forming some type of an inverse head and shoulders. There is some analysis that I've seen out there that are suggesting that this is a potential inverse head and shoulders, which we've got the left shoulder over here, a potential head, and then a formation of a right shoulder, which is a very, very small right shoulder, and this can lead to a potential breakout to the upside. I don't personally see it, because it's just it's a little bit more just sloping in terms of the neckline. Neckline's very much sloping, and we've got very inconsistent shoulders for this. So again, that's going to be that resistance to watch for Tesla at around 220 to 225. And if that gets a breakout, then 260s and 270s are going to be the next levels. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. And by the way, I do still have covered calls on Tesla, 2 of them sitting at 250. If Tesla continues to push higher, I will maybe consider rolling those out or let them expire, depending on how the price action is doing and how the delivery numbers come in for Tesla. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. So always happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.